Hello again and welcome to another edition of Shed Talk. You may have noticed from that short introduction sequence that I've moved some of the youngsters from cage 3 into the nursery flight. It's always good when you can move them when they're all fully weaned and they're finally in the nursery cage. Quite heavily feather plucked like the previous round, but I'm hoping, like the previous round, they'll virtually fully recover from that feather plucking. The hen is actually now sat on her third round, so hopefully we'll get a few more chicks off that particular pair. What I thought I'd look at in this video is take a quick look at one of the new pairs, or the last pair that I'm going to put down. You may remember from the last video we've tried to find a suitable partner for one of the hens. Unfortunately, all the ones that I picked were a little bit too close. If you haven't seen that, do go back and have a look at that video and you will see. But I've now found a suitable cockbird for her, so we'll have a quick look at that. And then we'll also have a look at some of the earlier youngsters that were in the nest, that were in the nappy flight, and just see what they look like, see how they're getting on. Some were very early ones, so almost ready to go into the main flight, and some from the first round of the birds that were feather plucked. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget you can always subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel an awful lot, and don't forget to hit the like button. So let's take a look at that new pair then. So here's the Yellow Face Cinnamon Opaline hen that we're going to try, that we in the last video, and if you didn't see that, I'll put a link to it across the top of the screen, where we tried to find her a new partner. Didn't manage to do that, or too closely related. We're going to look again. So I'll just show you the cockbirds that we're going to have a look at. So here are the 3 birds that I want to try, or that I pulled out to go with that hen. The first is this grey-green, and the other 2 are in the other cage. I'll just pan across. So we've got a cobalt, a normal cobalt, and we've got a yellow face, light blue. So I think we'll all agree that the grey-green is by far the better bird. I actually quite like this bird the more I look at him. However, this grey-green has already had a try in the breeding cage with this particular hen, so I'm not going to put him back in with her because they didn't actually produce anything, which just leaves me with the other 2 birds. And of these 2, the cobalt is the oldest of the birds. He's a late bred 19, and the yellow face sky blue is a late bred 20 bird. I say late bred, he's been in the flight for a little while. So I think of the 2, the potential, the yellow face has still got a bit of growing to do, and I think he's going to be a better bird than the cobalt. The cobalt's already been in the breeding cages once this year as well, so once again I'm going to not try that one again, and I'm going to try this yellow face. The other reason for trying the yellow face is that this yellow face also has a common ancestor, so there is a little bit of putting genes back in together. It's not that closely related. The inbreeding coefficient is 12.5%, which is not that bad. The other thing is this yellow face has some features that I think are missing on the hen that will slightly improve improve her, and that particularly in terms across the top of the head, the width across the top of the head, and the width of the mask. I'm quite pleased with. So I'm going to give this yellow face a try. So I'll just pop the yellow face in with the hen now, and we can take a look at them both. Not showing much interest in each other at the moment. I hope that you can see how the better face on that yellow face cockbird as opposed to the hen, although the hen is a little bit older. She's got a really nice deep mask, hasn't she? So I think they'll hopefully be quite compatible together. And if I can put that mask onto that cockbird, and that cockbird's width between the eyes and across the top of the head onto that hen and the width of mask, I will be pleased. I doubt whether I'll do it, but it's worth a try, isn't it? We'll see how they go. I'll pop these two into a breeding cage. So here is this light green cockbird. He's about 4 months old, so still got a fair bit of growing to do. He's actually not a bad size bird. As you can see, he's going through the molt, and so he's got a few pin feathers that have burst, and hence the blood on the top of his head. This is one of the birds that was heavily plucked, so I'm not sure if you can see on his feathers. He's missing a few of the feathers still on the wings. I'm not sure whether they're going to come back or not, which would be disappointing because as you can see, he's not a bad size, this particular bird, and not a bad shape. It could do with a bit more across the top of the head, I think. But overall, I quite like this. Better than I expected him to turn out. As I say, still got a little bit of growing to do, so I'm hoping he'll turn out all right. As always, not really enjoying the showcase particularly. Okay, I'll pop this one back in the flight and we'll have a look at a couple of others. And this is a sister of that normal light green cockbird, a little bit shorter, again about 4 months old. She looks as if she's coming into breeding condition, which is a little bit early, I would have thought, but who knows. She has quite a nice mask on her, and in fact I think you can probably see the impact of the plucking on the wings that I was speaking about with the cockbird. Again, another bird that's going to have a little bit of growing to do. Actually not a bad shape for this bird, and looks like she will be a reasonably useful hen. She could do with a little bit more width in terms of the directional feathering between the eyes. But overall, yeah, quite pleased with this young hen. Finally, I'd like to turn our attention to these two hens. These two hens are sisters. I did show these, so and a few videos ago when they first came out of the breeding cage into the nursery flight, and then I gave my view on these two. So we'll start off with the better behaved cinnamon grey-green hen here. This bird's got some real width about her, could do with a bit more length, but really has some nice width about her. And I think you can see much better directional feathering across the eyes if you'll decide to look at the camera again. she's not showing any signs of coming into condition, which concerns me a little bit, but she might be another late developer. I've got another couple of birds that have been like that, and interestingly enough, both similar shaped birds to this one. Spoke too soon about being better behaved, didn't I? And I did say when I first looked at this bird that this was going to be a keeper, and I still think that's the same. You can see here it's not the best, doesn't hold itself particularly well, so it doesn't show itself brilliantly in terms of its overall size. Turning back to the normal grey, the cinnamon grey hen. When I first assessed this young grey hen, cinnamon hen, I said it probably wasn't going to be a keeper. However, given how nice her sister is, I think I will probably end up keeping this and breeding her as a lesser hen. So just in case the other one doesn't produce anything. Neither of the birds are enjoying the show cage too much. She's actually got a little bit more length, I think. It sounds a bit better than the other one, so a bit more showy, but certainly doesn't have the width and the feathering across the top of the head that her sister has. There we go, that's a few of the hens that we've got. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that video. As always, do like and don't forget to subscribe. Until the next video, please do stay safe and enjoy those birds.